Hey guys, Mr. T here. This should be our first video for 11 General Mathematics. I'm hoping to make more of these to help you out with the course. Now, our first topic and this first video is going to be on International System Units, SI units. I don't know why I started there. Here. It's the world's most widely used system of measurement. Okay, involves 7 base units for various measurements. So the most familiar to you will be the units used for distance, mass and time. Distance in meters, mass in kilograms, time in seconds. These ones you should be aware of: electric current, temperature, intensity, light, and amount of substance. But you're not really going to be doing so many questions on those. Just be aware of these, and also be aware that the capitalization of the abbreviations is very important. They can be completely different units if you capitalize them, so don't mess them around. Okay, meters is a small m. Kilograms is small kg. Okay. Now most of our other units we use in everyday life come from the 7 base units, and come from multiplying or dividing them. But unfortunately, we also use heaps of other different names for units. That seems to be a property of the English language and sort of our society, where we like to name things after ourselves. So you're going to encounter a lot of other different units. There's no secret to remembering them. You're better off just memorizing them or getting used to them as you work from the tables on page 29 of your 11 General Maths textbook, which you are asked to buy an electronic version of on your book list. Okay, so make sure you got that before your first lesson. Now, we're not going to do any practice of memorizing these units or anything like that. The only thing I'm going to help you with in this video is how to convert between different multiples of these units. What am I mean by the multiples? Well, the multiples are the different sort of prefixes that you'll find in everyday life that you're probably familiar with already, like kilogram. Okay, kilogram is 1,000 grams. Okay, the kilo part of it refers to 1,000 times the gram, which is the unit of measure. And then you got megaliters, which refers to 1,000,000 liters. Okay, so I'm just going to give you this diagram to help you out with the conversion. Alright, if we start with liters, that unit is L, capital L. Okay, and to get to the different denominations, you usually a factor of 1,000, but going to the larger is dividing by 1,000. Okay, because a liter is 1,000th of a kiloliter. A kiloliter is 1,000th of a megaliter. Okay, so it's 1,000 each step. If I'm going back the other way, it's timesing by 1,000. Alright, a gigaliter is 1,000 megaliters. A megaliter is 1,000 kiloliters. A kiloliter is 1,000 liters. So the way this diagram is going to help you is to let you convert using these steps. So if I had a kiloliter here, if I was starting there, my units were in kiloliters, and I want to know how many liters I had, I times it by 1,000, so I've got 1,000 liters. Okay. If I wanted to go from, if I had a 1 megaliter and I want to know how many liters that was, you're not just going to times by 1,000. You've got 2 steps there. You times by 1,000, times by 1,000 again. So a megaliter is 1,000 times by 1,000, 1,000,000 liters. All right. So hopefully you see how that works. Now going smaller and smaller. Okay. It continues the trend. Alright, times by 1,000. So I've got 1,000 milliliters in a liter. I've got 1,000 microliters in a milliliter. I've got 1,000 nanoliters in a microliter. Okay, and back the other way, going up, and going up once more, divide by 1,000. So let's see if it works. We know there's 1,000 milliliters in a liter, so if I had my measurement in milliliters, how many liters do I have? Well, I've got 1,000. 1,000th. Okay, so if we had, say, let's say 5 kiloliters, and I wanted to express that in liters, what would I do? I need to times by 1,000. So 5 times by 1,000, according to that step, it's going to be 5,000 liters. Okay, what if I had 250 milliliters? That's a quarter of a liter. Okay, let's see if this works out. So if I'm in milliliters and I want to express it in liters eventually, what do I need to do? Milliliters to liters, divide by 1,000. So 250 divided by 1,000 equals, jump the decimal place 3 times, 0.25, which is a quarter of a liter. Okay, so hopefully you see how that works. The only other thing that I'm going to add to this is the little symbols for these actual prefixes, because they have their own as well. So nano is designated with, I just want to double check that I'm correct here. Yep, it's designated with a small n, so it would be NL for nanoliters. Micro is the mu symbol. It's like a U with a long tail on the wrong side. Milliliters is just small m. Kilo, small k. Mega is large M as a prefix, and giga is large G as a prefix. Okay, so just as an example of how that works, a microliter, say 5 microliters, that could be shortened to 5 microliters. L capital being liters. Alright, so hopefully that helps you in your exercises, and I'll see you in the next video.